What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my day 3 NFL Combine winners and losers. I only went with one loser today because, honestly, no one really had a bad day. Everyone who ran and did the drills, they knew that they were going to do good in them, so it was really hard to find a couple, bad performances. I only went with one guy. I'm going to show that one last, but overall, it was a good day, so let's just get straight into the video. Alright, guys, my first winner of day 3 for the Combine, we have Mike Washington Jr., running back from Arkansas. He's 6'1", 223. He was a consensus, top. I don't even know what the consensus really was. This running back class is all over the place. I definitely had him in my top 5 coming in, but he was way better than I expected. 92 athleticism score, first out of all running backs in the Combine. He ran a 4.33 40-yard dash, which is just insane. A 1.51 10-yard split, which I think was, I don't know if it was I think it was the best still out of the running backs this year. 39-inch vert, which was also really good. A 10.8 broad jump. 6'1", 223, guys. 6'1", 223. Here's his vert. Super explosive. Here's the dash. This was shocking. I expected him to run somewhere in the 4.4s. I didn't think his start was that good, and he still ran a 4.33. I mean, are you kidding me? Just overall, great day for him. 33-inch arms. He's just gonna be one of those, I don't know. He'll probably go somewhere in round 3, but I think he'll probably start out as an RB2 on a team and then possibly build up to being that RB1. I mean, he has the athleticism to do it. I thought his tape was a lot better. I thought Mike Washington coming in was one of the most underrated backs in this class. And, I mean, this was just a crazy combine for him. Alright, guys. Next up, we got Bryce Lance from North Dakota State. This is Trey Lance's brother. So, very interesting. He's a receiver, not a quarterback, but 6'3", 204, 32-inch arms, and came in and dominated. 99 athleticism score. I don't even think it can get higher than that. This was tied for first in this combine, I believe. He had a 4.34 40-yard dash, which at 6'3", 204 is just so good. A 1.49 10-yard split, also insane. 41.5-inch vertical. Another, all of these are just crazy. 11.1 broad jump. He was on the top 20 all time in every single one of these categories, I believe. Yeah, I believe so. Just insane day. Obviously, he played for North Dakota State, so it's not the competition on his film is lacking, but he's definitely a player I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I didn't watch him my first time around scouting receivers. I already posted my top 10 receivers video, but maybe at the end I'll go back and repost a new one because I definitely want to go back and watch Bryce Lance play. Insane day for Bryce Lance. He wasn't a super highly rated prospect coming in, but could he go early day 3 now? I don't know. I haven't really watched his actual tape, but they have him on production score as the 5th highest rated receiver at the combine. So I think he's going to be an interesting prospect going forward. Alright, guys, my third winner, another weird prospect who Honestly, I didn't hear anything about Jeff Caldwell coming into the combine, but he made sure his name was remembered. 6'5", 216, 32-inch arms. Um, you can see it. Another 99 athleticism score at this weight, at this height and weight. A 99 athleticism score is just insane. He ran a 4.31 40-yard dash at 6'5", 216. A 1.48 10-yard split at 6'5", 216. 42-inch vertical. Yet again, 6'5", 216. 11.2 broad jump. I don't even have to say it, but guys, 6'5", 216. He shouldn't be moving like that at that size. That is just wild. Down here, here's his broad jump. Wild. Here's his vert. I mean, just so easy. Like, honestly, he could have done better than that. He just effortlessly floated up there. And then, is it not going to show the 40? I guess not, but just wild. Absolutely wild. What he's doing at this size, he definitely raised his stock a lot. And total, they have him 9th. I guess his production score wasn't great, so I'm interested to go watch his tape, but the athleticism, the measurables are out of this, like, just, I've never seen. I mean, 6'5", 216 is, I don't even think, I wonder what DK Metcalf was at when he was in the combine. I don't know, but this is just wild. So, he's definitely a name to watch out for. Haven't watched his actual tape, but these numbers are just insane. Alright guys, this is gonna be my only loser of this class, and it was really hard to find like a true, like, someone who really dropped their stock from the combine, because everyone that ran was, they knew that they were gonna run fast. Eamon Johnson wasn't terrible in the combine, but I definitely expected more out of him. He was definitely probably a top 3 back for me in this class coming in. And the guy right below him, Mike Washington Jr., just dominated. He did not as much, so he might have dropped a spot. But, I mean, 5'10", 202, he's honestly heavier than I thought he was. He doesn't look 202 necessarily. He's a quicker, shiftier back. I think I saw someone compare him to Shady McCoy. I really like that. Just follows his blocks and makes people miss. He's not really a like super fast burner, but I definitely wanted him to run better than a 4.56 and a 1.59 10-yard split. I definitely thought that was going to be a little bit better. 35.5-inch vertical, 10-inch broad jump. Overall, I just expected more explosiveness out of Emmett Johnson. I thought that was the best part of his game, was just his quick speed. I also don't think he was good in the on-the-field drills either. He slipped a couple of times and just honestly looked a little stiff, and that's just not what he looked like on tape. Here's his 40-yard dash. I mean, it looks like he's moving so fast, but 4.59 is just not, or 4.5, what was it, 4.57? 4.56. 4.56 is just not what I really wanted. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I just expected more out of him, I guess. And is this going to drop his stock like a ton? Probably not, but I definitely expected a little bit more out of him. Alright guys, now we're just going to go over a couple other players. I do want to say there were a couple players at receiver who didn't do the 40-yard dash and the vertical and the broad jump. who I don't think did great on the on-field workouts. That was Makai Lemon, Denzel Boston, and Elijah Surratt. I don't think those three guys really upped their stock at all. If anything, maybe dropped it a little bit. I don't think. I think they're good enough prospects where their stock won't drop a lot, but it's something to look at. Makai Lemon had a couple drops and just didn't look. He didn't look as great as you would expect him to. In the on the field drills, Denzel Boston also had some drops, and Elijah Surratt had a lot more drops than I expected him to have. Obviously, they're not catching from their quarterbacks, and there's no like chemistry there. But with two of those guys being first round projected picks, like I don't want to see that many drops. So it's something to look at, but overall, not the biggest deal in the world. But talking about some of the actual 4-yard dash and stuff like that, Brennan Thompson ran, I believe, the third fastest. What was it? Hold on. No, the fifth fastest 40-yard dash of all time in the combine. 4.26, just insane. He's probably not gonna be a super big NFL receiver just because, I mean, he's really small, and I don't know how he'll fit in the NFL, but the speed is clearly there. Xavier Thomas is an interesting one. He also ran very, very fast. Deion Burks is someone I almost put in as a winner. He dominated all throughout the day. I just think Jeff Caldwell probably took his spot, was just barely slower, and I think he beat him in the split, the vertical, and the broad, so I ended up going Caldwell. But overall, there were some fast receivers. I expected Zachariah Branch to be maybe a little bit faster than this. What was his split? 1.5. That's not too bad. But Branch, like the only thing he really has as a prospect is his speed, and I don't know. Maybe I just expect him to be a little bit faster than that, but he's still clearly really fast. Dazon Stribling is someone I didn't watch my first time around when I watched my receivers, but I might have to go back and watch him. In the playoffs, I thought he was really good for Ole Miss, and running a 4.36 is definitely interesting. I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch him. Maybe he's better than I thought. Brazel running a 4.37 I thought was crazy at his size. Was he like 6'5"? He's a little bit. He's like 6'5", 190, but still, 4.37 is just very interesting. Skylar Bell 4.4 flat. Sturdivant was a player I haven't really heard anything about for the last 2 years. He almost entered the draft 2 years ago when he was still at UCLA, and I thought he was actually a solid prospect back then, but just overall kept dropping and dropping. Yeah, not a good production score. He actually had a great athleticism score. 10-11, 4.4. Yeah. It's interesting. I wonder where he goes in the draft, but yeah. Who else? Kendrick Law. I know he jumped well. Jacoby Lane is a player. I think this is a good 40-yard dash for him. He's a big player who just catches everything, but not super polished as a receiver. He was right outside my top 10. Was it Caden Weejan? I think had a really nice day. He caught a lot of great passes on the field drills. Jeremy Bernard, I still think, is a great player who's going to give a team he's going to be a really solid option for a team in that second round. A lot of people are probably going to talk about Carnell Tate only running a 4.53, but if you watched Tate before this, you knew like he's not really the fastest player. That's not why he's projected so highly. He's projected so highly because he wins with his routes, and he is just he's such a good contested catcher. So honestly, a 4.53 is almost better than I expected out of Cardell Tate, because I think his last 40-yard dash was in the 4.6s. So it's definitely better than I expected. I also think his second run was, I think he stumbled a little bit, and I honestly think there's a chance he could have broke a four. He could have broke 4.5. Outside of that, Malachi Fields didn't run super fast, but he's another big receiver, contested catch receiver. Running backs. Jeremiah Love actually ran. He's just a beast. Damon Claiborne is a super speedy super speed running back. I'm still just shocked. Mike Washington ran a 4.33. Seth McGowan was another player I almost put in as a winner. He was one of the best jumpers for the vertical and the broad jump as a running back ever. Yeah, second best vertical jump in combine history for a running back. And what was he at? Like top 10 on the broad jump. So showed off the explosiveness a little bit. I never got around to watching him, but maybe I'll go back and watch him. Ran a decent time too, so he's a player to watch out for. Outside of that, not much to look at. Jadarian Price ran a 4.49, maybe a little bit slower than I expected, but not bad. The QBs, everyone's gonna be wondering where Taylor Green is at. I don't think he clearly had one of the best quarterback performances ever in the combine, but in terms of a winner, I don't think his stock actually moved at all, because his tape just isn't great enough for it to move. He's honestly, all this does is like show he might just be able to switch positions at the next level, which, I mean, maybe that raises his stock a little bit, but what's the difference between taking Taylor Green and switching him over to receiver for the first time and just taking Jeff Caldwell? Jeff Caldwell has at least like played receiver, so I don't think Taylor Green's stock really moved at all for me. Outside of that, Ty Simpson looked decent in the on the field drills. Who else? I think Diego Pavia honestly looked pretty solid in the on the field drills on the throwing portion. But I mean, Pavia is just probably going to be too short to play in the NFL. I think he'll definitely be the shortest quarterback in the NFL day one. But yeah, Cole Payton, he's an interesting prospect to watch out for, but probably never going to be a true starter in the league. And yeah, I mean, I think that's all we got for this one, guys. It was a interesting day 3. Tomorrow we got the offensive line, and I don't know, we'll see. There's probably not going to be a whole lot to talk about tomorrow. I mean, I wonder what Kim Proctor can do if he does any of these drills. I think he probably should if he thinks he can do well on them. But yeah, I think that's all. So yeah, I think that's all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.